Hello everybody, welcome to the ITK Soccer Show. It is our first show of 2017. It is the 25th of January and we had a special extended Christmas break. Not really much happened, except John got engaged, so congratulations, John.
Oh yeah, I did.
You did?
Had to take a break after
What's his name?
Gay banter.
Isn't that funny, isn't it?
This day and age, you make a gay joke.
How did it go? You went to Munich to propose to your long-term girlfriend?
Met her there.
Plan went off without a hitch.
It was lovely. Munich's a lovely spot.
Yeah.
She's a lovely lady. Or man, you know.
Or man. Did you go see Bayern?
I didn't. I was looking up tickets, but then when you're only there for a weekend, it's basically the entire trip.
Would you marry me? Let's go to a Bayern match.
Oh, I brought her to a beer house and a concentration camp, you know. Like a good gentleman.
Excellent. And how were they?
Beer house, great.
Mm-hmm.
Concentration camp.
Did you lock her up in a concentration camp and then go up to the beer?
It's a long old day. It's a sad place, those concentration camps.
I can well believe it.
People live around them, it's odd.
Yeah, you gotta live somewhere though.
Yeah, but
Sure, the rent is dirt cheap.
Oh.
There's nothing wrong with what I said.
it depends how you read into it.
No, you
Dan
should-
read into it in a
He
different
did,
way.
didn't he? Okay, so because we haven't
But
done
no one died there, officially. So
in this particular one, there was no.
people died there, but not by gas chambers or anything like that.
Okay.
Just by horrible treatment and malnutrition. I've got to dig myself out of this hole. What did you guys get up to?
I don't know. Christmas was fun, wasn't it, Dan?
Yeah?
Yeah. Leeds are.
Craig
It's a tale of two teams. As you know, Dan is Leeds fan, and myself and John are Liverpool fans. Liverpool have won one game in their last 7.
But it's against Man
And,
City, so
Yeah, and we're going to be looking at that extensively when we review the Premier League table from when we last did a show around the 17th of December and the Premier League table as it stands now heading into an FA Cup weekend, and we're going to kind of track the progress or decline of the teams in the top half of the table and in the relegation space. But Leeds, on the other hand, going to the Championship for a brief moment, are flying and look set for, at the very least, a playoff spot when it's all said and
We
done.
won't get higher than playoffs. If you offer me 6th place now, I'd definitely.
when do you think the last time we talked about the Championship was?
Properly,
Series 2.
Dan just, yeah, maybe.
So when you were going to the Leeds players, picked out names of Steve Austin. The Hockaday song.
Hockaday.
I think the last time we talked about Leeds, all your players were colours like green and brown. And
Oh, we still have a green. Now, that was years ago. We had green, brown, white, grey.
it's
All
like
the same.
It's
All
like
the
the
same
Mr. Men
team.
books.
Very good.
It is like
All
the
the
Mr.
colours
Mambo.
of the rainbow.
Before we
They're all sad.
get into the Premier League, though, what can you tell us about what Gary Monk has done to the team and your expectation? Though, is it? Do you honestly believe that 6th is good, or do you think?
Yeah.
you
Oh,
probably,
yeah. We won't get top 2.
Yeah. Okay. But you will probably finish above
I
6th.
I think if we get top 6, it'd be great, because we weren't I thought this year we'd get top half. That's all we do. But to be where we are now, it doesn't look like we're going to buy anyone in January, which is a bad idea. But fuck it. We're currently 5th. If we win tonight, hopefully we do. When you're listening to this, we'll be 3rd. So I'm happy for that.
Speaking of January, the transfer window is going to close this coming Tuesday. So before we get into the ups and downs of the Christmas and New Year period for the Premier League sides, let's talk about changes that have been made, if any. Managerial changes, obviously. Sam, and looking up at the chipper graphic, has come to the lovely shore of Crystal Palace, because they have a shore
I'm
now.
assuming you saw the Steve Bruce pick.
It's fantastic.
Well, I'll explain it more my spoof for the week, because it's a long story and it's amazing.
Swansea, we have Paul Clement, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, but some good results so far. And
What happened on Saturday?
they
We'll
beat
get to
Liverpool
it.
at Anfield. And Marco Silva took over at Hull City.
Never heard of this man, but he's actually made Hull into their performance. Hull weren't actually playing that badly this year. They've no players, and they're still selling everyone. Like they sold Livermore the other day, and looks like Snodgrass could go. But
where would Snodgrass go?
He's going to Burnley for 10 million.
Doesn't he have 3 defeats so far?
Well, I thought they were very unlucky against Chelsea.
Well,
And they should have beaten.
they defended.
They should have beaten Stoke.
They should have maybe had a penalty But
I think they haven't actually
Chelsea
played.
were never in danger, really.
Well, I tell you, if Hull had nicked a 1-1, if it had gone 1-1, which they had a few chances, I don't think anyone would have gone, they didn't really deserve it. I think they haven't been too bad. I don't think they'll stay up there because they haven't enough players and they keep selling people. So, but no, I've never heard of them, but you never know. Might keep them up, but probably not.
Another rumour is Robbie Brady to Crystal Palace.
Seems to be happening.
That'd be a great move.
Up to 12 million.
That'd be a
Palace
great
have to
move.
sell players before they come in, but
We go
good
straight
to get
back
them in
to
the Premier League, you know.
Another heavy rumour of the last couple
Brady to Hugo.
Brady to Hugo. Very possible.
Yeah.
Another rumour that really took flight last weekend, so much so that it caused Diego Costa to be dropped from the squad, was him being linked to China and general unhappiness over an argument with Conte that was subsequent after the first defeat of the season to Tottenham. And basically it's not happening now. They were able to patch things over, but supposedly a big offer had come in from China.
Well, that's because China brought in the new law that you can only have so many foreigners. So they were like, okay, we can't do this anymore.
I think
Is that actually it?
I think he might go in the summer, personally.
He also got in a
Like-
fight over his weight. His fitness was poor, apparently.
And that's where it started,
Well,
and that coinciding with the bid coming
I
in.
think
he was kinda
Conte's
like,
managed it very, very well.
I don't think Conte likes him. Even in the interview when he was asked questions after, Conte was like, the old...
But he doesn't
rubbing
want to
his
give
ear
much
in.
away, though. Like, he can say, oh, yeah, he wants to go to China and earn 600 grand a week, you know, instead of win the league with us. I think what will happen is he'll stay at the end of the season, he'll still score goals, and I think he might leave, and they might bid for Lukaku or Benzema or something like that. I think I could see them go for another number 9, just let him go.
imagine if Lukaku went back to Chelsea.
I wouldn't put it
Guaranteed
past
to
him.
happen.
Wouldn't surprise me.
An ongoing story is Dimitri Payet, who essentially is on strike from West Ham at the moment. He's been demoted to training with the under-23s, completely dropped out of all matchday squads, publicly has been basically shunned out from the team. And Marseille have had 3 bids rejected, 20 million, 22 million and 22.83
They're
million.
looking for 25. They said they'll pay up to 25.
I think they want more than that because he signed a new deal. Philippe Auclair said, he's a Guardian reporter, mostly he's French, and he said that Marseille don't have the money, and no one else is going to bid because he's 29, 30 years old now.
He said he's
Yeah,
going
I
to
was
go
gonna-
anywhere
I was
else
gonna
except for
And they're
back to
not,
Marseille.
they're
Did
not
he
going to
actually
make their
say
money
that,
back. Yeah, his family's already moved back to France. He just wants. He doesn't they don't like life in London.
I'd like to actually hear. I want to actually talk to you guys about this. What's your opinion about this? Personally, right, I can actually understand why Payet wants to leave and is unhappy. First of all, okay, he signs there now, and I know they gave him a bit of a break, and he was a talent in France, but obviously it's the French league; it's very difficult to step it up, and he did step it up, and he was a major part in them having a decent season last year, finishing 7th or 8th or something in the league or whatever they finished, and they played good football. Payet was at the peak of that, and I think if he wasn't injured for 3 or 4 months, he would have been player of the season. I thought he was that good for the time he was on the pitch.
He had an excellent season last year, and he was excellent in the Euros.
Exactly, but
I don't agree. I don't agree with the way he's gone about it.
They go to a new stadium, right? They get to new, it is a top stadium, right?
Yeah.
And he's told, oh yeah, we're going to be West Ham. We're going to be a big player now. We're not going to be mid-table. We're not going to be battling relegation. We're not going to be yo-yo team anymore. We're going to be pushing on with a new stadium and Champions League is the goal. Great, perfect. I'll sign a big contract. They sign Ashley Fletcher, who's now linked with Leeds. They sign Fernandez, not very good. Cagliari, never even heard of him until he scored last week. They've got Zaza, loaned back to he's back to Valencia now, I think, because he was so bad they wouldn't play him because they had to pay him more money on Juventus.
Yeah.
The defense has been a mess. Everything's been shite.
Yeah.
Indiscipline's going through the team. Can you wonder? I can understand why he wants to. I don't know why he wants to go back to Marseille of all places.
No, Dan, I completely
but
agree.
I can understand why he is a disgruntled employee.
Yeah,
No, I get that, but
the way he's done it is
your
no one's
family's
saying
unhappy. His family hasn't been unhappy for the last month. You don't sign the new deal if your family's unhappy. And then he could have got a bigger move after the Euros if all of this. But he took the big payday, and now he's just been like.
But
Yeah,
I don't think
well,
West
perhaps
Ham.
I'm not one of
I don't
those.
think West Ham have dealt with the matter very well in terms of letting this actually escalate, because West Ham obviously
he went on strike, Dan.
Yeah,
but before to let it even happen.
But he went on strike. He's being unprofessional. He's running when the chips are down. If he was to be a professional about it, he sees the season out and then he makes sure that he moves into the
absolutely
summer.
I agree. He should do that, but I can understand why he's pissed off and wants to get out of there.
Yeah,
but
the way
he's doing
gone
it the
about
wrong way.
Absolutely.
But I don't think anyone's actually made the point ever that West Ham have gone completely backwards
Yeah, but
and
no-
didn't sign the
look.
players. Like, they were apparently linked with the likes of Tevez and some other...
Return.
The return of Tevez.
And there was some other big player as well they were linked to it. And one or two was...
Like
they
a
were-
set.
Lacazette. Yeah, like, they're decent players. And then they end up at, like, you know, they had no strikers this season for a while. It's just I can understand he's
Yeah.
doing it a bit the wrong way,
He's
but
not-
no
yeah.
one's actually mentioned
Look,
the point that
it's-
West Ham
it's-
haven't progressed,
look,
and that's why he is unhappy.
It's a situation
He
where
hasn't just turned it on and gone, I'm unhappy.
it's a situation where
It's been 6 month build.
it's very rare. It's not very rare, but it's a situation where the player is legitimately bigger than the club, but now he's acting like he knows he is, and and that's never good to see. Do you know what I mean? It'd be the same with Costa. The only difference is that Chelsea are doing great, whereas West Ham need all the help they can get. In terms of actual transfers that have happened, I don't know how many off the top of your head that you guys can think of. Obviously, the Berahino West Brom saga has finally come to an end.
Finally
After
saw
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they didn't want him for 2.5 years.
I think we'll all miss Sido every match of the day, West Brom match.
Yes.
It's the only thing worth watching. Actually, West Brom are pretty good at the minute, but it's the only reason we're watching them. I thought Fonte to West Ham for 8 million was.
I can't believe you guys didn't buy him.
I thought
It was a good Southampton player for sale.
Yeah.
We
He's
hadn't
old though.
completed our story.
Well,
he is old.
he did win the
He's
Johnson's
very
Pain
old.
Trophy and the Euros.
This fucking Johnson's Pain Trophy has been brought up so much recently. Look,
It's such a great stat, though.
I know.
He has to be the only man to do it.
Yeah,
If you're doing as
but
many
for-
quizzes, if you're doing as many quizzes as we are recently, you have
Very
to.
true.
But for
Very
8 million quid, it's a pretty good buy.
yeah, it's a short-term fix.
Like, how much did you buy Clavin for? Like,
Free.
was he free? Really?
So $0.
I would rather
Yeah.
spend 8 million and get,
I was a big defender of Clavin
or like,
up till this weekend.
or like,
He's solid, he just
or
can't
even
head
like
the ball.
Chelsea, like, or not. Well, they took Ake back. Like Man City.
Maybe I can
Why
see.
wouldn't they just
Not
go
us.
a bid 10 million?
But maybe Man
Just
City.
go. Do you want 2 more million?
But if
for
he's that
Font?
good, why would Southampton let him go for?
He wanted to go. He sent transfer request in.
A lot of people want that. But I think West Ham just paid the most money, probably.
If Klopp did buy him, he'd just play him as a striker in the last 5 minutes of a losing attempt, though. To be fair. Yeah. So, and for those of you who don't know, we're watching Liverpool about to exit the semi-finals in the second leg against Southampton of the League Cup here.
Nah, they'll lose to United in the final.
Yeah, that's right. United already have 1 foot in the door. They're 2-0 ahead going into the match with Hull tomorrow. So, just so you know that. Any other transfers, guys?
Tevez became the highest paid player in the history of football,
That is correct.
going to a Chinese club.
How much is he on a week? 600 grand or something?
Something like that, yeah. Good money. Good money if you can get it, I guess.
Imagine that. He makes $1 million in 10 days.
Didn't Tevez say he didn't care about money not so long ago, as well?
Yeah, he just wanted to go back to Argentina and
When he,
play
went,
there.
remember he goes, when he didn't want to go to play for Argentina in the World Cup, he said, I
Yeah.
went to Disneyland instead.
Yeah, no, he said, the reason I'm not sticking at Juventus is because I really want to go back to Argentina.
Just shoot that.
So there you go.
I always thought that was strange because, like, they used to treat him as, like, the best player that they had instead of Messi. They always found Messi a bit of a Catalan. Well, maybe it's just because Messi became the best player of all time.
Yeah.
They're like, no, actually, we'll go with him instead.
Well, their hands were slightly tied by that. Okay, let's do our kind of 6-week review of the league. So, sorry, I actually have to do something before that. Talk about something else. Go ahead, guys.
Milner actually prevented Steve Davis from scoring. That was a definite goal, by the way.
Yeah.
If Davis didn't get a block.
Can we
in there.
talk about Milner controlling the ball with his face? You can get go
Oh
good
yeah,
5
I
minutes
was
out
just
of
going to
that.
say, what's been your moment so far of the year as we're over the halfway stage? You go for the Milner controlling the ball with the head. John.
Absolutely.
What about you, John?
Moment of the year.
So
What of
this
the season so far?
Oh,
Well, I'll tell you what mine is, and Neil knows what it is.
Go on.
It's when Everton played Arsenal in that crazy end to that match, where there was the red card
Jesus.
and everything, and Peter Cech went up for a corner, and Stecklenburg came out and punched it away after Cech was like inches away from heading the ball in, and then the ball's cleared. Cech gets up and is standing behind Stecklenburg doing a goalkeeping pose while the ball's up the other end of the pitch. It was the greatest still picture
Yeah.
ever in the Premier League.
Is he
season.
explaining this? Did you get
no,
this?
I know what it is. It is. It was great.
I could not stop. I was like jumping up and down when that was happening. It's like, what is going?
What about
I thought it
Wenger
was brilliant.
assaulting the fourth official this weekend?
See, there's just
Well, for the Anthony Taylor fella that deserves a smack. He's the guy who gave that corner for Leeds last year.
What about Cesc taking a bump over the advertising signs?
That was nice.
That was pretty good.
I don't know. Like, there's been like For me, like whatever, I always it's just the stuff that like will always make me sort of like the most recent one is
let's not
Davies' goal. Davies' goal against City there, where I was like,
new McManaman.
yeah, lovely finish, and he did it, and like I was in the pub, we were waiting for United Liverpool, and I just like started laughing, just like this is amazing.
Let us not forget how the first goal of the season was scored. It was a double bicycle kick.
Of course,
from two different
double
players.
bicycle, like it's
People are going to keep forgetting that happened. That was the best start to a Premier League
I
season
think
you could have.
last year definitely the best thing was Van Hal taking a bump.
No
that
question.
was last
Last
season.
season, yeah.
It seems like
I was
a long
watching the
time
best
ago.
of Van Hal before I came out here. I
Yeah.
miss him so much.
Short video,
He was great.
better
Okay.
record than Klopp.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Okay,
He
so
won a
anyway,
cup.
Well, no, I just mean first 41 games or first 50
Okay.
first whatever.
So right now, Chelsea are 55 points at the top of the table. They are 8 points ahead of second place. Back in the day, they were 6 points ahead of second place, and they have lost 1 in that time. So what's there to say? They're great. They don't concede
Seems
goals.
to be improving in terms of the league standings. Points.
It's just it's like they haven't slipped up really.
They're linked to that fast fella Traore off.
Are they?
They're also linked with Craig Gordon from
What?
Celtic.
Villa?
No, he went to Borough.
Oh, Borough. Sorry, Borough. Yeah.
He belongs to Barcelona.
Yes.
And
I
then
do.
they
That's-
let him go.
That's who they're linked with.
Yeah, they're for that right wing back position. I think they definitely need a couple of players even in this window because
He'd be a bit
I think
lightweight. wouldn't
if Alonso, I've talked to you before this before, if Alonso or Moses gets injured,
he? Who almost scored a hat trick.
they've really got maybe Pedro can play right wing, Ake possibly coming back now, but they're really short in that department, and it's such a specialised position that they can't just put anyone there. They need a guy who can get up and down the pitch, and they don't really have anyone to do that. So it'd be interesting if they actually lost one or two of those players, but they have to revert back to a 4 at the back.
They brought
I think they're quite light squad wise, Chelsea.
Yeah.
But now they're doing fine with injuries. Cesc is coming on, making big impacts in the game. He's finally looking much better. Madness to get a player like that.
I think they're fine. I think they've got enough.
Really, John, like they're very very light. If Alonso or Moses gets injured, who honestly, if they both get injured at the same time, who will go in and play?
Well, they have Ake, and they've tried to
Pedro
play.
will have to play there.
Yeah, they've done that. and
Ivanovic
I think
will
William
play
as
there.
well.
Ivanovic right wing back.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's
really?
ideal, but yeah, definitely.
Oh no, I know, but it's not ideal. And
No.
if you're missing big games, that's the only thing that might.
Well, I think
derail
trying to fit a
or
new
it cost if that comes
William.
trying to fit a new player in might upset the squad. I think just.
I don't think adding one will hurt.
Well,
wouldn't
you
have
said
six
you said
then.
a few players. I don't know.
several years.
I
you could have said
don't
the
think
same
there'll be
about
any
Barcelona.
sort of deals this window. I don't think.
Yeah, you could have said the same thing about plenty of Barcelona teams over the last 5 years, and they always managed to do it. So, second place. Yeah, Barcelona have had very small squads, and I've always been able to deal.
Well, they've had Messi.
That's true.
So
Arsenal are now in second place on 47 points. They are 8 points behind the leaders. Before Christmas, Arsenal were in fourth place, and they were 9 points behind
so
the
they're
leaders.
one closer now, were they?
So they're 1 point closer, but
Yeah.
they're in second place.
They've had a bad few games, but they're
They
hanging in
keep
there.
picking up points. So
They're
keep picking up
just-
points.
like, I've always thought they'd finish outside top 4 this year. I thought they'd just about scrape it at the start of the season, but I've always had doubts.
I think
They're-
they will
it's the
finish top
vintage.
4, yeah.
It's the vintage Wenger
I think
thing.
they'll
They
finish
haven't
second.
really played
Yeah.
well, but they're still just they're getting points.
I think they could
You know what I
finish
mean?
second easily. They do have match winners, which very few teams.
Well,
really
the whole
have.
Sanchez thing is still unrolling, and that is like they have
But I
to.
think
sign
he'll
him
be
down.
gone in the summer.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll be.
but between
Mad to see rid of
it's
him.
not like he's
Who
going
are
to
they
be
going to
gone before
replace him
then.
with?
I don't know. Luis Suarez.
You notice the links to Pjanic going there. Have you heard?
Oh, Pjanic,
To replace Cazorla.
really?
Have you heard of that?
No, not
Yeah.
once. So
But
what's
again, maybe they'll use him
Santi's
as
back fit, is
they
he?
might. No, not for a few more months.
That's all.
No,
That was almost
it's a goal.
penalty.
How did he miss?
Fuck.
Well, like who would they? They could use him as bait, Pjanic.
Yeah.
Why
Why did Pjanic go though?
I don't know.
He's had
But,
his
like,
first year. He's about to win his first Serie A.
Why would they sell him though, Alexis? Who are they going to replace him with?
Well,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the only player they could really go for who's possibly available on that sort of level would be like a Griezmann type. But there's no way Arsenal are going to spend 90 million on Griezmann if that's the price tag.
absolutely not.
Do you know what I
a chance he
mean?
would go there.
Just give
Griezmann
Sanchez
is
the
going
deal
to
and
be a
keep
Man
him.
United player.
I really honestly believe he
I think he'll go there. But no, like, who
just
else?
because he's not going to go to Madrid. Like.
Although Sid Lowe said that, I think it might have been the second captains. He said that it's likely him and Simeone will stay for the new stadium next year, and then
I
go.
think they'll stay. I think definitely Simeone. If Simeone stays, I think Griezmann might stay. I think, but I think Simeone will definitely be there in the new season. But he did say last year, by the way.
Just to bookmark Arsenal, though, you did. I think they're going to come second.
What do you think?
I think so. Yeah, second.
I think they'll just get top 4 again. They won't win it though. Chelsea probably win it.
Spurs are currently in 3rd place. They are 9 points behind the top spot. Before Christmas, they were in 5th, and they were 10 points behind the top spot. So what we're learning here is, as people are shifting positions, it's just kind of less close in 2nd and 3rd. It's really Chelsea have opened the gap. Really, is what we're learning here by going through this. Spurs to finish top 4.
I am still doubtful with that because why have Spurs' form picked up?
No Champions League,
no European football,
and they're going to be in the Europa League.
And they're going to be in the Europa League. I don't know how serious they'll take it. I think they will take it seriously enough, but I think that's a big thing as well. Like, you look at all the teams. I will get to Liverpool in a minute, but like, they were playing very well for the first couple of months with no Europe. Chelsea have been doing very well with no Europe. Like Spurs, like that's when the season not starts, but the likes of Arsenal, Man City and Spurs, who are in the Champions League, that's when they can go, right, we can concentrate more on the Premier League. We don't have distractions. And you've seen probably an increase in points with Spurs and Arsenal since then. So I think Spurs, again, I'm saying this with every team, I don't think they've got a great squad either. I think with a few injuries again, like you saw against Man City there, they had a makeshift back 3. Like, Wimmer is not good enough. Dyer, I'm still not sure. I'm definitely as a centre half.
Sorry, it's Vertonghen's injured.
Vertonghen's gone injured.
That's huge.
I know Kane was injured for a while, but like,
but they're not leaking either, though.
I just think they're missing a few. I think they might get top 4, but I think if they get 3rd, they'll be their best. I don't know. They won't get 2nd, and that's because of the squad they have.
Behind Chelsea, they're the most informed team in the league, and they beat.
But
they're
very poor.
Their first half against West Brom is probably the best 45 minutes I think anyone's played this season. Maybe behind Arsenal when they beat Chelsea 3-0 in the first half earlier in the season. Ali's coming into form, and it looks absolutely world class. Like.
Oh my god!
They're doing the exact same thing again. My god!
He looks absolutely like.
Why don't they to score goals?
They look great. Kane looks great. The Spurs were bad against City.
Spurs. I love
it. Spurs were bad against City, but the only way City ended up scoring was through 2 goalkeeper errors. They're not going to happen every week unless it's Liverpool.
To be fair though, to Spurs, you're saying about Ali being world class. He has looked brilliant. He's scoring goals, but
did John say he was world class?
Well, no, he's
playing world class. He is. His assists have been great, Dan. He scored 2 great goals. He's getting in the right positions. He's scoring and he's assisting.
He's a very good finisher.
What more do you want from him?
Moving on to Liverpool, as we mentioned earlier, 45 points at the moment in
Southampton.
Southampton are all over Liverpool here. They'd be unlucky not to score. 45 points. Okay, so they're 10 points behind Chelsea in 4th place. They were 2nd, and they were 6 points behind Chelsea. So a big fall from grace. They've won 1 match in their last 7. That's including the game that's being played right now. So for the sake of Premier League and FA Cup, we'll say 1 match in their last 6. And although the defensive frailties aren't as bad as they were, except for the Southampton game. Except for the Swansea game. One thing that's for sure is that the ability to score at least 3 times a game is completely gone.
The last show we did, Liverpool had just lost to Bournemouth 4-3 in a mad match that Emery Chan scored a goal to make it 3-1 in that match. And at that moment,
22 minutes left,
Liverpool decided that we should stop scoring these goals. Since then,
they've never been able to score those goals.
There was a match against Stoke on like the day after Stevens' day that they beat them pretty comfortably at home. But since then, they weren't able to score more than 1 against City, and didn't play that well in that match either. They haven't played well for a while. Saturday was Klopp's worst day as a manager for Liverpool. Anyway,
unlucky to not beat United at Old Trafford.
Maybe. Like, yes, I guess if the tactic was to create no chances and hope, but then again, we were lucky in the same way. I would have taken a point when I saw the lineup. We've been unlucky with injuries and Mane going to the African Cup of Nations, but and FIFA messing up with Matip not being able to play. But we can't defend from crosses. We can't defend from pace. Klein is back from injury and can't play. But it's just Liverpool are just bad at the minute. Like I don't fancy them to win like any match. So they've been in bad form. Hopefully they'll get back into it when other teams start dropping points around them
and start getting distracted by Europe.
Yeah, like obviously it looks worse because Chelsea and Spurs keep winning, and Arsenal keep picking up points. But Liverpool had it looked like a handy Christmas period after the City match. You know what I mean? They had the two worst teams in the league, Sunderland and City, Sunderland, Swansea, and Stoke, and we were able to get 4 points out of 9.
Should be like a 9 there, yeah.
Should be taken, especially if you want to challenge for the league. Which
would you say that challenge is over? Yeah,
absolutely. I don't think Liverpool get top 4.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
It would have to be kind of a case of Mane making a difference and the teams around them going far and being stretched in Europe. Is that the only way?
No, I think quality here. I think quality is in squad. I think
of all the teams I've said with the poor squad, I think you guys are...
Yeah, I think United are coming into form. I know they drew this weekend. We'll talk about them. And City just have the quality.
Man United have options off the bench. I think 1 or 2 injuries at you guys.
And the bench is terrible.
See, like you've got Woodburn, and Stewart, and Lucas, and Ajira, and
Ojo.
You get players like that on the bench, and you might have maybe Origi or something. There's just not enough options there for me to... If things aren't working, or even just, I need a break, I've got a bit of a niggle, drop me and put someone else in for, I'll play the last half an hour. I don't think you even have that ability to do that. I think of all the teams up there, I think you have a very good starting 11. But
is it very foolish of Klopp not to completely rule out buying somebody in January, which he has?
Well, he said he's very angry at the way that the players it's the price tag and everything, and he says he's lost out on a few targets that he can't get. So I wouldn't you can't really do much in this window. You look at all the windows, has Wenger ever bought anyone? They bought Jose Reyes in 2004.
Oh, yeah.
Because Luis Saha went to Man United around the same time, and Scott Parker went to Chelsea, and he goes, I better react and buy someone, and he bought Reyes.
Yeah.
I don't remember, Wenger, he bought Arshavin, and he bought Sol Campbell in rear.
But the only reason he brought Arshavin in January was because of the time the Russian league ended.
Yeah, he couldn't get him, so he's we'll forward it to January.
Yeah.
You look at all the teams, no one really buys anyone in January, so it's...
But look, just
not really a surprise.
Yeah, but
Liverpool have a good record. They bought
all you can do really is tie down players. You just tie down Coutinho. That was a good thing to do.
Yeah, but they bought
to help boost morale with the fans as well.
Yeah, no, but in the history they bought Mascherano, Suarez, Carroll, Coutinho, Sturridge, all in the January window. They have a pretty good record at doing it. I just think Klopp is
a lot of injuries,
similar to Wenger. I don't think he wants to spend the money even if it is there. I don't know if there's any players really available.
Who is available? What do you need? You need to be honest, I was going through this. If you get Champions League football, you need about 9 players.
I don't think we need to worry about that.
When you need a goalkeeper, you need 2 fullbacks.
We don't need a goalkeeper.
You do.
Karius has been great in the last 2 matches, and Mingale's fine. Look, there's 2 good goalkeepers in the Premier League, in my opinion, in Lloris and De Gea. You're not going to spend money and buy a good goalkeeper unless you get Neuer.
Courtois.
Cech cannot save a shot that is hit from outside the box. Cannot.
He's not the keeper he was, but I wouldn't call him terrible.
What do you want? How much money did they spend on Bravo? Maybe he was free, but they spent a lot of money. He was supposed to be class.
Was it 12 million?
He was supposed to be class. Has not made a save in the Premier League, as far as I know.
He's great.
Courtois is fine, a little slow to get down. But you're just... the idea of...
a good keeper.
Again, he's actually statistically one of the worst at shot saving. He just looks like a good goalkeeper. Look, he's got a good defence in front of him. Mingale hasn't made a mistake in the last few weeks. He's fine. Just a bit of competition. Wasting money on a goalkeeper is absolutely irrelevant at this point.
Well, we can talk about what Liverpool need if they do end up in the Champions League. Man City are now 5th on 43 points, 12 points behind the leaders. Before Christmas, they were in 3rd place, and they were a mere 9 points behind. So it's
around that week they just beat Arsenal.
Yeah, so this is another example of much like Liverpool, form has not been great since the Christmas break. So what's going on? Pep saying today that
Well, he said the league is gone.
he says he sees this as a far bigger project, and he's going to need 5 years at the club at least.
Well, good luck to him if you can. It's good work if you can get it.
Yeah, if he can get the extension.
The joke I saw that summed it up perfectly was Pep made the false 9 famous, and now he's trying to make the false goalkeeper famous.
Very good.
He's playing with wing backs that are 100 years old. He's trying to play Zabaleta as Philip Lam as a DM. If not, he's playing Yaya Toure there, the absolute slug who it looked like was never going to play for City again at the start of the season. They are a joke. He cannot play with Aguero up front at all.
No, he's ruining that man.
He really, I don't know.
De Bruyne has fallen off.
I didn't watch a lot of German football, so I don't know how it worked with Lewandowski. Maybe Lewandowski's a better worker or whatever.
He liked Lewandowski.
He did, but every time Aguero plays for City, he's barely there.
I think what he's asked him to do, he's asked him to sort of full back, or when the centre half comes out with the ball, go track him down. There's nothing wrong with that, but again, it's almost like save your energy for when you kind of need it, and let them come out a bit and then press them in midfield. But like again, I think Pep again, all season he's kind of shown this. He's almost too smart for what he's trying to do.
De Bruyne scored his first goal since September on Saturday, and that was Larry's mistake. Raheem Sterling is not Messi for what he's trying to do. Raheem Sterling is terrible. Like, there's all that talk about he should have got a penalty.
You look at the players that he's had at Bayern and Barca. Like, he went from having like a Xavi Iniesta to like Alonso, Thiago, Muller, Ribéry, and now he's gone to like, an old Yaya Toure. Fernandinho keeps getting sent off. Like
there's still good players there. Let's not forget.
They're fine.
He has signed a lot of players.
Man City fell over the line last year in the Champions League. They fell over the line to get there. They only lost because the game with the Boleyn ground.
Yeah,
that game where West Ham beat Man United 2-1 the second last day, and City won it then by default to get top 4. And like, there's still that kind of aura in City, and I think he needs to get rid of a lot of players. I think he's trying to do too much, I think, at one time, but like, he's no fullback. He's not got one good fullback in the team.
Yeah,
and he should have spent his money more wise. But I think City are just, at times against Spurs they were very, very good, and at times this year they have been very good against like Barcelona. Times like that they have been.
They're incredibly
they've been showing signs of what they can do.
They're incredibly inconsistent.
But yeah,
and they have been the last few years.
And exactly, and I think he's still trying to work out. Like, I could see an absolute mass clear out. Like, I could see maybe one or two of his whole defenders he has at that club staying. Maybe Zabaleta.
I expected that when he came in. Now, after a season, if he finishes outside the top 4, does nothing in the Champions League, doesn't win a cup,
he won't be sacked.
I'm not saying he won't be sacked, but are they going to give him money to get an entire new squad? Get rid of all the old players?
They've waited for years to have this guy in here, and I think what he's going to do is he will evaluate everything in the summer, and he will go I thought he actually said at the end, like, he says he hasn't named the players once. He said maybe I'm not good enough. He's actually given the players every single bit of credit. Like, he's protecting them so much in the media.
Yeah,
he's doing everything. No, but like, he hasn't even had a go at them once. And he's saying, the blame's on me. It's always on me. It's not on the players. And I think he's trying to get a response out of him. Like, he's doing everything he can. But it'll be interesting to see what happens is over the summer, he will go, right, he's not good enough. I've tried him out. Like, Sir Fernando will go,
yeah.
Probably get a new
one of their
keeper.
better
Get rid of his,
him and Fernandinho.
like, how Gael Clichy is still playing.
I know.
He is so bad.
It seems those 4 fullbacks have been there forever.
But they're an old aging team as well.
Very much.
I think they need to a bit clearer. And then obviously it's still not good enough. But
when going over the top 6, the only people that are in the same spots were Chelsea and 6th place United. Before Christmas, they were on 41 points. That's 14 behind the leaders. They are currently now on 30 points, 13 behind the leaders. John was saying that they're getting into a run of form at the moment, but in reality, they're in the exact same spot and only 1 point better.
They're in great form. They are unbeaten in a long time. The issue was over Christmas, other than Liverpool, no one else was really dropping points. So that's why they didn't move. But I think they're really improving. They're beating all the small teams that you should.
Rooney getting his record?
Yeah, now he can move to China. I still fancy him to get top 4.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, well, look, we've gone over the top 6 now. It's the same 6 teams as it was before Christmas. It's the same 6 teams we thought it would be at the start of the year.
It's not going to change as well.
It's not going to change. So with that, before we look at the relegation zone, not reviewing our predictions, but now with hindsight, who do you believe will be the top 4?
Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, United.
Dan?
Chelsea to win it, and then in no order. I think Arsenal will be there now. I think they're scoring a lot of late goals in a lot of games. And I think they're kind of getting away with murder there. And they'll lose to Bayern Munich anyway, so the Europe won't affect them. I could see Spurs having a bit of a wobble. You guys are playing not well at all, and Man City are 2 weeks. Man United, I'm actually only going to say it's going to be Arsenal, and it's going to mix it. I can't call it. I think it's going to be between Arsenal will probably get there, Chelsea will win the league, and then it's a scrap. I'm just sitting the fence. I actually don't know.
All right, I'm going to make a bold prediction. I'm going to say both Manchester clubs are going to finish outside.
Finish
outside.
Oh, outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we won't go team by team. We'll just do a general overview. From
We just do the relegation.
Yeah, exactly.
So look, there's other crap teams in the middle.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
West Brom are great.
So the bottom 5 teams, the bottom 5 teams before Christmas were. Sorry, excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong thing. The bottom 5 teams before Christmas were Burnley, Crystal Palace, Sunderland, Swansea, and Hull. Right now, it's Middlesbrough, Swansea, Crystal Palace, Hull, and Sunderland. So, same teams, they've just swapped around a bit. Burnley have gone up, Middlesbrough have gone down.
I'm going to say Watford will definitely be dragged down and possibly go down.
Wow, okay.
I think Watford are dire.
They're quite
really bad.
They're significantly ahead of Crystal Palace.
I think there's more.
They're
Palace.
They're 8 points ahead of Palace, Dan. And Palace are 18th.
I think Watford are terrible.
All right.
They don't score goals, and they're not really keeping clean sheets. I think Palace will get out of it. I always thought they would. I think they've got a goal scorer if they can play to his strengths.
Swansea certainly look like they'll be able to get out of it.
I don't think Swansea. I think they might have left it too late.
Well,
I think it might be similar to
I know they're 17th right now. I think
similar to the last season they were up, but I think Burnley's away form might get them in trouble. I think they're yet to win a game away from home.
They've taken 1 point away from home this year. It was at Old Trafford, but they've got the 3rd best home record in the Premier League.
So I watched Leicester Southampton. Leicester are so bad. Terrible, but they just have enough quality. I think.
I disagree with that. I think that talking about teams with a bit of cushion, they've got like 9 or 10 points.
I think
that might just be enough.
Clement might keep Swansea up. I'm putting that solely on. I think Swansea have been awful this year, but I think Carroll was a good signing, and I'm putting it purely on the Liverpool result. I think they might get out of it. I think Palace, they're trying to sign players. I think Palace might go down.
So they'll leave Sunderland, who they've signed Julian Lescott today, by the way.
Sunderland,
and he is so overweight and terrible.
They signed Julian Lescott.
He was released from AEK Athens.
He was.
Rangers turned him down. And then he was released from Athens. Championship and League One teams will turn him down, and he's gone back to play for Moyes at Sunderland. Like they've no players. And if I was Jermaine Defoe or West Ham want Jermaine Defoe, I'll tell you they should be. Like they have a goal scorer there, but Defoe can't keep bailing them out. Like he's not a spring chicken.
Yeah.
And if anything happened to him, not a chance. Sunderland will stay up.
And they've lost Anichibi now for.
And very good, yeah. And Anichibi's out.
Thanks.
And Hull are.
Anichibi.
I got a very good.
Hull are selling all their players still. Snodgrass, Livermore, and now obviously
I think Hull are down.
Mason Ryan.
Mason Andrews. Mason Ryan.
Mason Ryan with a bad headache.
We better talk about that. Yeah. So what do you think of that?
Really?
The Ryan Mason thing against Chelsea is very scary.
It was scary. Better than tabloid papers. The Mirror predicting his death or whatever.
Yeah, there's plenty of clickbait things on Facebook and Twitter that night going, he's fighting for his life, even though the club released a statement saying that he was stable.
No, they had to do that because they saw it.
They had to do what?
No, had to release a statement. When the Mirror released the statement, he's fighting for his life.
Like, excuse me.
Oh, no, he's stable in hospital, but he's in serious condition.
Do you know what got me about it the most was it was the quickest I've ever seen players react to the bench. Like, he hadn't hit the ground, and the players were like, get on.
I remember Cesc Fabregas kicked John Terry in the face, which I enjoyed.
Oh, yeah, it was Diaby.
That was... Oh, sorry, it was Diaby.
Yeah.
Diaby kicked him in the face in the Carling Cup final.
Kicking racism out of football.
Yeah, he injured himself doing it.
Carling Cup.
Diaby, you're thinking of someone else.
Go on.
Carling Cup final 2007. He kicked him in the face, and I remember Cesc was actually like screaming for the medics to come on, and everyone Like, he's going to out cold. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
I wonder in a
But,
situation
that was
like
a very quick one as well.
I wonder in a situation like that, though,
of
where
course,
they were able
sorry.
to call them on so quickly, was it a case where they just heard the clank and they knew, or like?
Well, obviously, maybe they saw his eyes roll back in his head or something.
See, this is the thing.
He
I don't
could've-
think
he could have swallowed his tongue.
I don't think they did. He wasn't out, though. This is the most amazing thing. He wasn't out. If you look at
yeah, that's because he kind of went down to the ground and he moved, and I'm like, oh, he'll be all right.
he tried to sit up.
yeah, and then he realised, wait a minute,
couldn't.
my
He
my
could-
brain is
He
bleeding.
could not sit up.
Well, look, the good thing is he'd be pretty
Like
okay.
your
But
man
I
in the
tell-
World Cup final.
Say again.
Remember your man in the World Cup final? The Germany lad. He was like,
Oh, I
Max
thought he was playing.
Cruz.
He thought he was playing with Muller from the
And he wanted to go and goal.
yeah, he told Neuer, get out of here.
I'm going and go. It's like he thought Thomas Muller was Gerd Muller, didn't he?
Yeah, he's fine, Sorla.
That's the fucking
It'd
best
be interesting
thing.
if he plays again because I don't know, bar Christian Kivu, is there any other player who
Outfield
wears,
player with a head thing.
with a helmet?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else bar Kivu?
Kivu's the only man I know.
Obviously, like Czech is worn it.
Romania's finest. Him and Mutu.
What about Stanku with the Euros? He was fucking brilliant. Stanku banging him. He got 2 penalties at the Euros.
I remember I used to play. There was a sweet time where I got so bored playing different World Cups in pro. I can't remember what year it was. Maybe it was 2010. Maybe Mutu was still in the game anyway, and I definitely tried to do.
This is Inter.
I tried to do a World Cup with. No,
Romania.
Mutu wasn't with Inter. Kivu
Romania.
obviously was. Romania. Sorry, Romania. And I did a World Cup with Romania just on the back of the fact they had Mutu and Chivu. It was great.
Dan Petrescu.
They did have Petrescu.
Dan Petrescu.
All right, guys. There's really no parameters on the awards this week. You know, you can pick anything from the last time we did a show. So, what were some of your favorite goals over the period?
I watched Match of the Day today because I thought we'd be going through the results, and I knew what was going to happen, but still watching Sanchez's penalty to dink it in the middle in the last minute to win a match was just
I was
magic.
going to say that as like he's missed a few for Arsenal, but he did the same thing to win the Copa America last year against Argentina.
But he said he came out after and he said that he was told by a coach, it must have been that when you're taking a penalty in the last minute or last in the shootout,
Hit it in the middle.
always dink it in the middle because the keeper wants to be a hero, so he's going to dive.
He'll never have the guts to stay in the middle.
Well, like if you look at most pressure kicks, like if I was a goalkeeping coach or advisor for any goalkeeper, like any big massive kick, you notice generally it's down the middle.
Yeah.
Like I remember Frank Lampard, that was his trick, down the middle, anytime. And I know you look like an idiot if you stand there, like now the person might get a rebound on it, but you're probably going to save the penalty.
Steven
possibly
Gerrard
catch
was
it.
always great at it for taking an absolutely amazing penalty, even when the pressure was on. Like he never hit it down the middle; he always whacked
But
it
it's
to
the
his side.
dink though. It's
He
the
was-
dink.
yeah.
No,
He's good.
that's
He's
what I'm
good.
saying. I'm giving it credit. Giroud's goal was nice.
Yeah.
The one that didn't get credit when Mkhitaryan scored that goal. Barini scored one of the greatest goals I've ever seen.
Yeah, Breeze goal in that match.
And that match, it just
that
wasn't.
Mkhitaryan goes offside as well. That's
true.
Let's
Yeah,
not say about
but
that.
what I looked at Giroud's goal was actually Giroud started the move 25 yards from his own box, and it was a good counter attack.
Yeah.
Harry
And he was onside.
Harry
World class.
Kane
And he hit the bar.
Harry,
World class.
Harry
World class.
Kane's hat trick goal. Ali's pass. He
That was very good.
Three West Brom defenders around
Obviously,
and he flicked it over.
Andy
That was-
Carroll's overhead kick.
Incredible.
I think that's the
Incredible.
best one I've seen, probably.
No, Andy Carroll's one's not getting enough press, is it?
Like, can you, like, so it was like if Messi scored it, but like, no, see, I think that's the best overhead kick I've probably seen.
Yep.
But Rivaldo in 2001 for Barcelona,
Which
got
free kick
them
was this?
overhead kick.
Overhead kick.
Oh, yeah.
Andy Carroll from the
I'm
edge of
going
the
to give it
box.
to Rivaldo because of the circumstances.
Yeah.
It was Barcelona's last game to beat Valencia to get the Champions League. He got a
Yeah.
hat trick with the last kick of the game with an overhead kick from 25 yards. That's for me.
It is. It's the
Matrix.
second. I think it's the second best overhead kick of all time.
By Rivaldo.
The Rivaldo one.
Yeah.
The first.
Oh,
being,
yeah, I definitely think it.
And I don't have Zidane's Champions League win as number one. My number one is still Zlatan against
What?
England.
That's pretty
It's
impressive.
the best overhead kick of all time.
I like Peter
Just-
Crouch's
yeah, I
against
forgot about that.
Galatasaray.
Do you remember Felipe Mex's one?
So close.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Mex's, that was the same week.
Yeah, it was.
Fucking
It was the same week, and it was outside the box for Roma.
Yep, it's when he was playing for
Yeah.
Roma. It was outside the box,
Insane.
on the right hand side of the box. What was he doing? Amazing.
And, Zlatan was at 40 yards out.
Well, that was the best. That's the best one ever.
Shaw Cross's only England game. Never
Yeah.
came back.
Okay, let's see here. Heroes of the week. I guess we give it to the medical staff for Ryan Mason. That was great.
I think Rooney gives,
Yeah, you have to-
fair folks, look. Fair folks, Rooney.
Go ahead to
I have to
Rooney.
give
I'm
it to
glad he
Rooney.
got it, and I think it's terrible that he gets a lot of criticism.
Gary Cahill went to
He's-
the hospital to visit Mason.
So did Big Match John.
He actually Big Match John did
Big
as well.
Match John probably making jokes about that. Ian.
Yeah.
But no, I think about Rooney. He's got the record. He deserves the record, and I don't know why people always have this thing about him. It's like the Robbie Keane thing here. I'm not saying it's in this room, but a lot of Irish people don't like Robbie Keane. It's like they either have a problem with them. Like Rooney has.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, that's been going on for years.
I've
for the
never
amount of times, like,
encountered this.
oh, what's Robbie Keane doing playing for Ireland? It's like he's the best fucking goal scorer.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
Rooney's all-time scorer for Man United. All-time
I think
scorer
it's,
for
I think
England.
it's very different, Dan.
But you know what I mean? It's
I
still
think
like, where's
uneducated people about football would say something like that about Keane, whereas the main slack Rooney gets is from hardcore football fans.
I think his performances the last 2 years have not been good.
No.
But I think, though, in terms of like what he's done, I think people just have a bit more respect for him. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, that's what Zlatan says. Zlatan says that he cannot understand how somebody like Rooney is not
for anyone
respected
like
in
that.
England.
You look at Ronaldo,
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo. He's breaking records after and Messi. Like these people are lauded. And not Rooney's not in the same league as them, but just fucking congratulate him. Like, you know,
I have a feeling that
like he's my hero. Like he deserves to be.
Oh, that's fair.
You
I have
know?
a feeling that there's been several times since the last time we did a show that I've seen something and thought to myself, perfect hero of the week, or that was a great moment, that was a great thing to happen. And I'm drawing a blank on
Now,
it.
like
I found
Rooney
out
was a
that-
disaster when he came on against Liverpool. He was a disaster.
He was
only had,
alright.
like 50%.
Martin Tyler really wanted him to score.
50% of his.
Oh, more than anything else.
Welcome to hydration, Paul Pogba.
Oh, Jesus.
There's an English team called Run Corn,
Stop it.
and they have a new mascot, and you know they got really clever with it.
Is it your man? Is it Choppin' Joe?
No, it's Ron Corn.
Claire, come here. look at this mascot, Ron Corn.
The mascot for Run Corn is Ron Corn.
The club is called Run Corn. And that mascot is called Ron Corn. Run Corn.
Run corn.
And he's called Ron Corn.
He's amazing. He's lovely.
He's going to
So
be
he's my hero.
he's the thumbnail for the show this week. Absolutely no question
Yeah,
about
well,
it.
no, him, yeah.
Cutest mascot.
Because Ron Corn just won it.
Because Choppin' Joe's always going to win the America South America bracket of the competition.
Oh, what was his name? It was.
It's not his name. I know.
What was his name? It was
What is his name? John, you know the guy.
the guy with the chainsaw.
We've never brought him up
Chainsaw
before.
Charlie.
You're the guy with the chainsaw cuts the
Oh yeah,
who cuts the
yeah,
something-
normal stuff.
Chainsaw.
Just
Fuck is his name? I have to look that up.
Michael Myers, isn't
Do
it?
you know he comes up on every second show as well, which
course he
I'm
does.
just delighted with. Okay,
So
right.
show more often than I am.
I'm gonna let Dan go first because I know you probably have a litany of these. Spoofer Dan, and don't say Wenger for pushing the official because he didn't.
No. He also. Well, Anthony Taylor deserved it, as I said earlier.
Sorry, what did you say
What?
that?
Anthony Taylor deserves a smack. He's a horrendous referee.
Okay.
He's the worst referee ever in the English game. Mike Dean got relegated to a Leeds match and still made a balls. That was nice by Sturridge. Finally passing to a player.
Jesus Christ.
He tried to get
Sorry.
a cheeky corner, to be fair. But
I know. Anyway, sorry, Dan. Go on. Spoofers, please.
I'm going to give it to Neil Warnock.
Oh Jesus!
Well,
Any
after what he
time,
said-
any
after what
chance
he
you
said.
have.
After what he said to Gerrard, it's like do people in Liverpool have windows. So to him live on BT. They were saying, they'll be all looking out the windows now with this in Liverpool. And Warnock being like, even though he's from Yorkshire, but he lives in Cornwall, he just pretends he's not from Yorkshire. He's an absolutely horrendous human being. Then goes, oh, have they got windows in Liverpool? Ha ha ha. Gerrard's face just turns around and stares at him. BT have been ripping the absolute piss out of Gerrard.
They really have. They've
It's
been
like
slip
after
jokes.
after the Swansea game. Oh, so you're back in the Liverpool youth setup.
Any good
And
defenders.
Melwood is really good defenders.
Any good defenders.
And then they go, are you going to buy anyone? You're going to buy Van Dijk, probably, but we can't keep going back to Southampton. It's all this like they're ripping the absolute piss out of him. But Warnock was so out of line.
Later
with
that day, they said to him, they made a slip joke at him as well. Anyway,
did. But Warnock's
okay. Anybody else besides Neil Warnock? You done?
Oh, Sol Bamba tried to beat the shit out of him before Christmas.
Okay, okay. Let's get over Neil Warnock here. Anybody else?
Sol Bamba, hero.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to briefly just obviously mention
Timber Joey's his name.
Timber.
oh, amazing.
Oh, Timber Joey. Okay, I'm going to go with. Do you have a picture of him, Andy? I'm going to go with the obvious Grant Xhaka for getting his third dismissal so far in the English game, and then second, and then being a racist at the airport. So
Bizarre, isn't it?
he had a really bad weekend, and he's terrible. Go on, John.
I have 3
Yes, you do.
because that's what I do. The short one, Mourinho sacked all his ball boys for not being tactical enough.
That is, I completely forgot about that.
He's put in like the under 15s football team and says these people understand football and I'm telling them what to do. But to be fair, if he doesn't like the ball boys and they're doing it wrong, if I was a manager, I would do the same.
I can't criticize it,
I think it's absolutely. Why not?
but John thinks it's a spoofer.
I think
I
it's
think
true.
it's
All right.
Ruins the game. Darren Bent scored with his penis.
That was so good. Darren Bent's reaction to scoring with his penis is my hero of the week.
And the last one was...
Bent scored with his penis. He did. Go on.
These are... You can take these either way. I'm putting them in spoofers. This one is a spoofer, though. Leeds legend Ross McCormick.
Oh yeah.
Leeds legend Ross
Fulham legend.
Leeds legend Ross McCormick, who Dan said would be Premier League player, who signed for 2 championship players, but since then 2 championship teams who failed to get promoted since then, but doesn't matter. Anyway,
Dan did love him a lot.
since Steve Bruce took over Villa, Mr. McCormick doesn't fancy a bit of training.
Yeah, he decides
So anyway,
not to go.
he called Steve Bruce the other day. I was like, we've all done this. Like, here, boss, I can't come to training. And Steve Bruce was like, why? He's like, I can't get my electronic gate to open. Right?
Fuck yes.
There's a chance. Very good.
So he said he can't get his electronic gate to open. So Steve Bruce drove. He goes, why don't you just hop the wall and get a taxi? He goes, I can't get over the wall. So Steve Bruce drives to Ross McCormick's house, stops to get a kebab for
Yes.
lunch. You can see the photo of Steve Bruce waiting for a kebab.
Was that when he was getting the kebab? He was on his way
in his
to
full
Ross's house.
Aston Villa tracksuit. Drives, measures the wall.
Yeah,
at
guess
Ross
what height
McCormick's
the
house.
wall is? Guess what height
Guess
the
how
wall is?
high the wall?
4 foot.
4'7".
4 foot. He couldn't get over 4
Well,
foot.
Ross is only about 5'7", but
It doesn't matter. If he's a professional footballer, I can get over it, and I'm
No, and he
not
was apparently he was like
athletic
in the
man.
window.
He could have
And
brought
Steve
a
Bruce-
chair into his garden
Steve
to
Bruce.
stand on.
Steve Bruce apparently was like, shouting in, and like McCormick was like at the window.
So Ross McCormick, he's apparently going back to Fulham if he
It's
loses
Fulham,
a bit of weight.
Fulham legend.
probably not Leeds.
So-
I take him back though.
So he, wow, that's incredible. All right, okay, let's
What's
go
happened?
over.
He's really had a meltdown since he left Leeds.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a meltdown when I tell you where I am in the fantasy here. Reggie Greg is 17. Rob Normal 16. Noel has just given up much like myself. He's in 15th. Tommy's in 14th. Dave Rogers is in 12th. I'm in 13th. I'm in 12th. Becky's in 11th. Ronan is in 10. Dave's in 9th. Regis is in 8th. Dan is in 7th.
I'm just having this a disaster.
Yeah, Dan is in 7th. Shane Hart's in 6th. Kenny Murphy in 5th. Darren Hillard in 4th. John is in 3rd.
What's John doing there? This is so wrong.
Stephen Vincent. It's very tight. The top 2 points between Stephen Vincent and James Byrne. James Byrne had the greatest week in the history of it.
James had like someone like triple captain,
Yeah.
and he got like 1,000
Yeah,
points.
he had the greatest night in the history of our sport, and it's kept him up there. He's had average weeks since, and it's kept him up there. So, fair play to James. If you enjoyed the show, please do tell a friend. We are going to get back to doing it every week, beginning in 2 weeks' time. As it's an FA Cup weekend, we'll be taking a break.
We won't be back next week.
We won't be back next week, but thereafter we'll be ever present between then and the end of the league. So 2 weeks' time until the next show. We provide it for free, and it's available on our Facebook page. Is a good place to get it. Also, YouTube has all the archive shows as well. You get that ITK Soccer Show on YouTube, facebook.com/ITK Soccer Show, and at ITK Soccer Show on Twitter. So until 2 weeks' time, hope you enjoyed the show, and we will talk to you then.